Hello everyone. I told you the other day that I was dabbling in HIIT, kind of getting back into it, seeing how my body was responding, and I was kind of liking it. And then all of a sudden this thought popped into my head. I wonder what would happen if I did HIIT every day for a week. My first thought after this thought was, that sounds like a terrible idea, because HIIT is very high intensity. You shouldn't be doing it every day for a week. That's just is dumb. But then my next thought after that was, okay, but like it's kind of a fun challenge, and wouldn't it be fun to see what would happen, and maybe you'd improve a ton, maybe you'd fall in love with HIIT, maybe you'd start doing cardio. Not that I particularly like want to start doing cardio, but like who knows what could happen. So proceeded to do HIIT for a week. But really quick, before I get into that, I wanted to let you guys, the YouTube fam, know, because I've been talking about this like nonstop on Instagram, I just haven't updated you guys. Since gyms are reopening in a lot of places, I wanted to celebrate, and so in order to do so, I am doing two things. The first is putting Project Comeback on sale. You can currently get it 15% off with the code COMEBACK2020. I will leave a link down in the description box below. For those of you who don't know, Project Comeback is my 7-week fitness and lifestyle ebook composed of not only workouts, but also nutrition plans and lifestyle changes designed to help you get back on track with your health and fitness over the course of the program. And just to clarify, it is not just a workout program, it is a full lifestyle program. It covers all 4 pillars of health: exercise, nutrition, sleep, and stress. So over the course of the 7 weeks, you make changes in all of these categories to take you from wherever you are now to where you want to be to live your sustainable and optimally healthy lifestyle. Within the exercise section, there are workouts that slowly increase volume each week so that you are applying progressive overload and getting to the frequency that you want to be training at. It also has movement goals. It has a HIIT goal depending on what your goals are, so you might not necessarily do the HIIT section. Within the nutrition section, there are plans for fat loss, building muscle / reverse dieting, and maintenance, and then there's a whole section of my favorite go-to healthy recipes. And then both the sleep and the stress sections have chunks of like all of the science behind why focusing on sleep and stress are so important and how they're going to help you get to your goals faster, and then step-by-step instructions for how to improve those within your own life as well. But the other thing that I'm doing to celebrate gyms being open that I'm even more excited about is the fact that I am running a limited time accountability group for Project Comeback. So like everyone who wants to start Project Comeback, we're all gonna go through it together and hold each other accountable. There's already, I think, over 60 people in the little Facebook group that we have going already, and so I cannot wait to have you guys join us as well, and we can all support each other and go through the program together. So we're all gonna start the program the first Monday of July, which is July 6th, and then as we go through it, we will use the Facebook group to hold each other accountable. You can ask any questions you have about the program. We'll do quick weekly check-ins. You can share your progress, you know, anything that you would use an accountability group for. I'm just gonna keep this group open for this round of Project Comeback. This is not something I've done before. It's completely free if you're deciding to start Project Comeback with us this time. So if you want in, get in on it. I will leave a link in the description to get Project Comeback, but I just wanted to let you guys know because I'm so stoked to see how many people are already in the group. I thought it'd be like 3 people, but no, we got like a good sized group going. I love you guys so much. You make me so happy. Without further ado, let's dive back into the doing HIIT every day thing, because it was a roller coaster. So I kind of had 2 goals going into this, or metrics that I wanted to measure my results by. The first one was my performance. I wanted to see how fast my body would adapt and how quickly my performance would increase. The second metric that I wanted to measure was my aesthetic progress. You guys know I talked about it a little bit ago. My weight has just kind of been yo-yoing back and forth. I've been a little bit stuck with trying to lose weight, and so I just wanted to see if throwing in this new modality, this thing that is entirely different from anything I've really ever done, would be enough to like shift the needle in the direction that I wanted it to go and like shock my body into responding. However, I was not expecting any extreme changes within 1 week, and I don't think anyone should go into this expecting extreme changes in 1 week, because if you make extreme changes in 1 week, they're very likely unsustainable changes. And I went the extra step to make sure this was like a super solid experiment, and I actually increased my calorie intake to account for the extra calories that I'd be burning through the HIIT, so I would be in the same like size of a deficit, because obviously, you know, if you burn an extra 200 calories a day through a HIIT workout, yeah, you're gonna be in a bigger deficit, you're probably gonna lose weight faster. So I wanted to see if it was the new stimulus of HIIT itself that would potentially trigger greater fat loss. And then as for what exactly I did for my workouts, in my previous video about HIIT, I talked through how people do HIIT so wrong and why it's wrong and how to actually do HIIT. So if you've seen that video, you know what I did. But to break it down for you, basically, to be true HIIT, like real HIIT, that's the HIIT that is studied in the actual studies that tell you the benefits of HIIT, you need basically pure cardio. So that's gonna be sprints, bike sprints, elliptical, maybe the rowing machine, although my rowing machines have always been a little bit laggy, so I haven't really been able to accelerate quick enough. But you really have to be doing like pure cardio, or else it's your muscles that are fatiguing before your cardiovascular system is fatiguing. And most HIIT protocols used in studies push subjects to about 90 to 95% of their aerobic capacity during their working intervals. And so I wanted to mimic that, and that is what I recommend if you are also trying to do a HIIT workout. So my format for HIIT workouts is as follows. I do a 3 to 10 minute warm up, usually just like go for a walk around the block until I feel kind of warmed up. And then my working intervals are 15 to 20 seconds. And then my rest intervals are 45 seconds to about 90 seconds, where I'm just completely resting, so that during my working intervals, I can still push myself to 90 to 95% of my actual capacity. And then you just repeat the cycle on and off for 10 to 20 minutes. So for anyone who is new around here, let me just make this very clear. I hate cardio. I don't do a lot of cardio. I work out. And when I work out, my heart rate goes up, I work my heart, but I do not focus on cardio. I have not done real HIIT in I don't know how long. So I am very deconditioned, on top of being quarantined for the last 3 months, where my workouts were definitely suffering because I totally lacked motivation. So this was very new for me, a little bit out of character, a lot out of character for me. I don't know what came over me, okay, it sounded fun. And before I show you how day one went, I do want to clarify that I do not recommend this. This is clearly way too much intensity. It's not good. It's a bad idea. And I did it anyway, just for fun, knowing full well that I probably would get better actual results if I did it a different way. But this wasn't about getting results. This was just about seeing what would happen. So without further ado, this is what happened. All right, today is day one of the HIIT experiment. I am kind of excited, also a little bit terrified. So since one of the main things I want to measure during this process is my athletic performance, I need to pick one variable to use as a benchmark for my progress. And with HIIT, there are 4 main variables. I think the first one would be the time for the working interval, and then you have the rest time, and then you have the total number of intervals done during the workout, and then the total time for the workout. So I think the variable that I'm going to use to track my progress is the number of intervals that I can accomplish to fatigue, basically. This will mean that I have to keep my working times and my rest times consistent. So I just downloaded this little HIIT app. Never used it before. It's called HIIT Timer, interval timer, I don't know. So I just set my work time as 15 seconds and then my rest time as 45 seconds. You know what, I'm starting to have second thoughts. Yeah, you know what, I'm bumping my rest time up to 60 seconds. So I'm gonna do 15 seconds on, 60 seconds off for as many rounds as I can do. So when I can't go to the gym, my favorite way of doing HIIT is just to sprint. I'm terrified of like face planting into the concrete, so like gonna have to work around that. Kill me now. Giving myself a minute. Rest time, very good idea. Very good idea. 10 intervals down. I'm done. We're on the ground. I'm done. That heart rate though. All right, we're on day 2. I'm a little bit excited for this, even though I know I'm gonna feel like I'm dead. Like I haven't moved all day. I really need to get a workout in, so I think this is gonna be a nice way to get in some quick and efficient movement. I just finished 10 intervals. I am done. I honestly don't even think I technically finished the last one. I think I gave up after like 10 seconds. I think I was pushing myself a lot harder today, which resulted in me actually needing to take a few extra seconds of rest during my rest time, because when you're doing HIIT, you really are supposed to like try to recover at least a little bit, if not get closer to baseline. And it was just, I needed a little bit more rest. I think if yesterday I was pushing myself at 90%, today I was pushing myself at 95%. And that 5% makes a huge difference. I think I'm also a smidge not sore, but I think my muscles are a little bit fatigued from yesterday. So I think that was making it a little bit difficult as well. I was worried my legs were just gonna like give out. It wasn't that bad, but like I was just like, it feels a little bit more like I'm wading through water than it did yesterday. Retrospectively, I feel freaking amazing right now. I feel really accomplished. I feel like my cardiovascular system is thanking me. Well, here's something I didn't see coming. Stupidly, I am sore. Who would have thought after years of not doing cardio, doing 2 intense HIIT workouts would make you sore? By the end of the day on this day, I started to worry that this was a really bad idea. Like, I knew going into it that it was probably gonna be a bad idea. I started to worry I had made a very bad mistake, because by the end of the day, I was very sore. I tried to go for a walk. I had shin splints. My quads were clearly like very fatigued. I was considering just completely quitting at this point. But at the same time, I also knew that this was an incredibly new stimulus for my body, and like soreness is to be expected when you do something entirely new. And I had been this sore in my life before. Like, it wasn't an unprecedented level of soreness, but I knew that if it got worse, we were in for a bad time. All right, get myself geared up for my 4th HIIT workout this week, day 4. I am sore. So I don't know how today is gonna go. I'm gonna just give it a try, and if I have to stop, I have to stop. I tried. 2 sprints in and I'm actually feeling a lot less sore than yesterday. So I have high hopes. I think I'm gonna be okay. I did not have enough confidence in myself. I could honestly probably do like another couple rounds, because I just realized I can almost speak normally. My heart rate is almost back down to normal already, but not gonna super push it because I don't want to end up being super sore tomorrow too. But I have leveled up. I did 12 rounds total. Look at me go. It actually felt really good doing them too. Like, I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would. I was totally procrastinating getting up to do this today, but I'm so glad I did it because I feel really good right now. I decided to have some coffee this morning, and even though I had my CBD with it, I still feel a little bit like jittery and a little bit just a little too hyped up right now. So I don't know how that's gonna affect this workout. Theoretically, caffeine should boost exercise performance, but I feel like for me, it might just trigger like anxiety or something. So we're gonna see how peak heart rate combined with peak caffeine intake affects me. I actually have my compression socks on today. They're from Comrade, and I wish I thought of these sooner because theoretically they should help with recovery. My soreness at this point is like 96% gone, so I think I'm actually kind of like over the hump of needing help recovering, but I figured they couldn't hurt. Oh my god, the body is amazing. I just like crushed 14 rounds, basically no problem. I could have done 15 intervals, but I had told myself I was gonna stop at 14, and I also don't really want to push it and make myself sore again tomorrow because that's no fun. It actually felt significantly easier today. Like, it felt like I was running and not sprinting to go the same distance. So I think I realize now that there were a couple other variables that I wasn't taking into account when I was trying to set my variables, and that is distance and intensity. If you keep distance the same as, sorry, I'm like literally dripping sweat. If you keep distance the same as your body adapts, the intensity is gonna have to decrease. But that decreased intensity is what is going to lead to me being able to do more intervals. So in a sense, by keeping the distance the same, I am holding everything the same. So the takeaway is basically progressive overload for HIIT. Once I can do 15 rounds at this distance, I should aim to increase the distance so that I can only do 10 rounds again, so that I know I'm going at like max intensity for that distance. And then as I progress, as the intensity has to decrease to get the same distance, then I can increase the distance again. Wow, maybe I'll be an Olympic sprinter at some point. No, Not gonna happen. I am so disgusting. I need to like wash myself off. This is where things like really turned around for me. I started to feel so good. My body felt good. My confidence felt good. Like all around, I felt really good. I could feel my stamina improving, and I started to actually get excited.
To do HIIT?
Like to go run? Who even am I? I didn't know at that point. Day 6, let's do this. Ready to crush it? I'm gonna go for 15 rounds today. If I'm like dead at 14, I will stop, but we're trying for 15. I just finished my 11th interval. This is like a piece of cake. Like, look at me, I'm not even really sweating yet. My face is barely even red. I'm a little bit out of breath, obviously, but like, this is insane. It's so much easier. My body has adapted so quickly. I am shocked. Genuinely shocked. 15. Heck yeah, I just sprinted that last one with a genuine smile on my face because I'm so proud of myself. Because I've never really focused on cardio before. I had no idea that I could get so much better, so much faster. And I was so dead on like the first 3 days. I didn't think this was gonna be possible. I thought I made a huge mistake, but here we are. Day 6, 15 intervals, and not dead on the floor, feeling freaking amazing. Here we are, we made it. Day 7. I am at least a little bit more excited to go out and do the thing than I was on day 1. I still am not like excited to go do a HIIT workout, but like I'm ready for it now, you know? I am back in some Comrade compression socks just because my ankles are feeling a little bit sore. Like, they aren't feeling super great. They're probably a little inflamed, but I'm definitely gonna take a few days off after this because my body needs it. My free trial for the app that I was using to time my workouts expired, so I just had to download another app. Not happy about it. 8 down, 7 to go. A little bit more than halfway there. Got this. All right, I definitely think I've hit the point of overtraining, so I am very glad today was the last day. My ankles definitely hurt. It feels like they're probably kind of inflamed, and while I feel like my recovery was really good during my rest times, the sprinting intervals definitely did not feel as effortless as they did yesterday. It felt like my body was wanting to give up just a smidge sooner, and I had to push myself a smidge harder. Could have been anything. It could have been like, I don't think I got as good of sleep last night. In fact, I definitely didn't get as good of sleep last night. So that definitely could be it. Like, it's possible it's not overtraining, but like, because my ankles hurt pretty bad and my quads feel used, they don't feel sore, but when I stretch them, when I do this, I can feel it. It's like, if it's not like a sore, it's weird. My body feels weird and like not in a good way, but I still did it in 15 intervals. It still felt easier today than 10 did on day 1. So either way, I have come very, very far. Overall, I'm glad I did this because it was a fun experiment and I did kind of enjoy it, but I would absolutely never do it again, and I definitely don't recommend it. On the positive side, I was amazed at how fast my body adapted. Like, I know the human body adapts very quickly to things, particularly cardio, when it comes to exercise, but it blew me away. Like, I was shocked. And I was also amazed at how good it made me feel, just because I hate cardio, but I actually kind of didn't hate this, which was just very surprising to me. So I'm like super proud of myself for doing this, because this is probably more cardio than I've done in a very long time. And I definitely prefer HIIT over LISS, and I think what I'd like to do moving forward is just use this as a way of being able to get in a quick and efficient workout when I don't have a lot of time. But on the negative side, this was definitely a bad idea. Can I say that enough? No, I don't think I can. This was a bad idea. My ankles were sore, and they were like so sore that they felt tender to touch. Like, they felt like they were bruised for a good 3 or 4 days. afterwards. So it definitely like caused inflammation. Like I was clearly at the point where I was overtraining. Today is the first day, and today is like 5 days post this experiment, where my quads don't feel particularly weird when I stretch them. Basically, I've had to take the last 5 days off from exercise to recover from this. And let me just reiterate this in case any of you are thinking about doing this for fat loss. If you have to spend the same number of days recovering from something that you do in order to make progress, your net progress is 0. So don't put yourself through this torture, because you're just gonna undo it in the next week. As far as the 2 metrics that I wanted to use to track my progress, my performance clearly increased. Like I was able to go from dying doing 10 intervals to confidently being able to do 15 and not really be dying. Didn't feel the need to sit down between intervals, felt pretty darn good by the end. And then as far as my physique goes, it definitely did change. And I hesitate to show this because I don't want to encourage people to do this, because again, I could have done this in a much better, much more sustainable way for healthy long-term fat loss, because I'm probably gonna gain most of this back because I'm not gonna keep doing HIIT every single day. That's dumb. But this is my before and this is my after. You can see that I'm definitely clearly a little bit leaner. I weighed myself once or twice since I've made that video about how I wasn't weighing myself, and I have hit my lowest weight since trying to actively lose fat. So I do think that it encouraged some amount of change in my body because it was such a new stimulus. But again, I don't think I can say that this body fat change is going to be permanent in any way, shape, or form, not only because obviously what I was doing that achieved that was unsustainable, but also because my body just kind of has been yo-yoing back and forth quite a bit lately. So I would not doubt if my body was just like, nope, we're gonna regain that fat back, thanks. So I wasn't doing this specifically for fat loss, but I was interested in seeing the effect. If I wanted to do this more sustainably for like long-term fat loss and keeping the fat off, I think I would have been much better off doing it like 2 to 3 days a week over the course of a month. That would have majorly reduced the risk of overtraining. It would have kept the inflammation down. Like I wouldn't have been inflamed. My performance would have stayed elevated. I wouldn't have like peaked on day 6. So moving forward, I'm gonna take a few more days off from exercise, and then I think I'm gonna ease back in with more slow restorative stuff like some light yoga. And I think I'll just stick with that until I start Project Comeback on July 6th, because Project Comeback, if you follow the fat loss plan, it does incorporate a little bit of HIIT towards the end of it. So I think what I'll do is just incorporate that HIIT and then maintain that schedule moving forward. I really did enjoy this, and so I would like to keep HIIT as part of my routine like 1 to 2 times a week. This is not me promising I'm gonna do that, because you guys know me and cardio, but I appreciated the progress that I made, and I would love to be able to like maintain that at least. If you guys have any questions about the experiment or about how to do HIIT in general, I will leave a link to my video where I go through like exactly what you need to know about how to do HIIT in the description. But if you have any extra questions, leave them in the comments down below. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really does support me and my channel, and I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your neighbors. Stick it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you check out Project Comeback and join our accountability group. Join us in getting back to the gym in a healthy, sustainable way to rebuild your healthy habits and get you back on track in 2020 after quarantine. I'll leave a link to my Project Comeback playlist over here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow me on Project Comeback 2.0 as I go through it with you guys this time, and I will see you very soon. Bye.